Hi there, this is Sober Steve. My name is Steve Truesdell, and thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. If this is the first time watching, I just want to let you know I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I have 23 years sobriety, and decided to do this channel just after, over the years, people asking me advice and questions and things, and I know there's a lot of resources out there, but I thought I'd add to the mix. If we can help one person, it's worth the time, and I hope that just sharing my experiences and my thoughts can help somebody. So anyway, I'm back on the road, so I'm sorry about the road noise, but it's Father's Day. I'm heading to my son Jordan's house. He's making breakfast for myself and his daughter, and I thought I'd just do a quick video this weekend on reflecting on Father's Day. It's not Father's Day itself. We're not that huge on Hallmark holidays, honestly, in our family, but just reflecting on the father aspect of my alcoholism, both as a son and as a dad. And as I mentioned before, as a son, I was fortunate because my dad was, he's not an alcoholic. He does drink, and he honestly has probably a drink a day, just about. And after dinner, he likes to have a glass of scotch, or he'll have a glass of wine. But then he stops, and I've only seen him intoxicated a couple of times in my whole life, so I'm confident he's never had an issue with it. I think his is more of just a force of habit. He just likes to have a cocktail or a drink, but he doesn't take it to the excess. So, as we talked about before, one of the key signs of alcohol abuse is the struggle of stopping once you start. So confident that was never an issue. He was always present in my life. I mean, he did travel for his job a lot when I was young, but when he got home, he was active. I mean, he was an assistant coach on my hockey team. He joined Indian Guides with me, which is kind of like Boy Scouts, if you don't know what that is. But he was always supportive. He helped me with my homework. He played catch with me, took me to football games, supported me through, middle school, high school sports. He put up with my baloney, and he was always there during my tough times. And even though he would be upset with me or frustrated with me, I think he was kind of at a loss how to handle me, honestly, for a few years, because I wouldn't listen. You know how teenagers are, and he would punish me, and he would give me the tough love, then he'd give me the soft love, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter unless you're gonna throw me in jail, there's no way you're gonna keep me from drinking. I mean, that was the reality. So that's tough as a dad, because he didn't want to throw me in jail. So as far as my own dad, I love him. I appreciate him. We're very close. Had so many good times together, and I'm very, very fortunate and grateful, and I know that. So, and then on the other end, as far as being a dad, the people in my life that know me probably would tell you, if asked, that being a dad for me has been my number one favorite thing in my life, and it was really like that from the beginning. But I'll tell you 3 things, that happened in my drinking after my son was born. Well, one, the night he was born, that really, when I reflect back, emphasizes I don't know how strong the disease is. Because, so number one, when my ex-wife was, she went into labor, went into the hospital, and I left work, went in with her all day, and they were having us walk around the hospital, try to induce labor and everything, and it was a long day. And then all of a sudden, we're in the, I don't know if it's an operating room or wherever you give birth, but we're in that room, right? And it's time, and she gives birth to our son Jordan. Everything's fine. I know, easy for me to say. It looked very painful, I'll say. if you're a woman and you've ever had a baby, that you got to be a tough son of a gun for that. So anyway, but everything was fine. He was healthy, she was fine, and I offered to spend the night in the hospital, but I was hoping she wouldn't take me up on it, and she didn't. And she's like, just go home and get rest, that's stupid, come back in the morning. So he was born around 10:30 at night, and I thought, oh cool, when I leave, I go to the store and get some beer and go home and pound them and then get back in the morning. And so, but one thing led to another, and everything was taking so long, and I looked up at the clock, and next thing I know, it was like 1:30 a.m. and in the state of Michigan, they stopped selling alcohol at 2 a.m. and I know I don't have any beer at home, and I'm starting to get nervous. And so here I am, supposed to be one of the greatest days of my life, the birth of my son, and now I'm thinking I'm not going to get to the store in time to get alcohol, and I'm starting to get kind of nervous about it. Just shows how strong the disease is. And because I'm an alcoholic, that wasn't going to happen. So I made sure I got out of there. I got out of there at 1:40 or something, 1:45. There was a little party store right at the corner. Went in, grabbed a case of beer, went home, drank as much as I could. I don't know how much it was. Probably stayed up till 4 in the morning drinking. And then, got up in the morning and went back to the hospital feeling like dog crap and probably smelling like a brewery. And that's how I started my parenting. It's pretty sad. And so, and then the other key moment I remember, my son was probably about a year old, and my ex-wife had gone out with a group of friends, and I knew she was going to be late, and I put him to bed. It was like 8. He was still sleeping in a crib, and I got him to sleep and went downstairs. I had like 2 beers left, and I started to get nervous again because that's not going to work. And now I got a baby sleeping in a crib. What am I going to do? So, the sad thing is I really came up with 2 thoughts. Okay, either I'm going to get him up from his crib, take him to the store with me, we're going to get the beer, and then I'll come back, put him back to bed, or I'm going to leave him in his crib, I'm going to run to the store, come back. And I chose that one, and that was definitely a bad choice. Luckily nothing happened, but I was probably gone 15 minutes. What if I had already been drinking? What if I would have got pulled over? What if I would have got into a car accident? What if I would have got killed? And then he got a baby in his crib all alone in a home. And, or what if he would have woke up 2 minutes after I left? He's screaming for his dad, and he's got to wait 15 minutes before I come in. It's just, I felt relieved when I got back and everything went okay, but it scared me. I was scared because I was like, okay, Steve, you got a major issue here. Like, the person you love more than anybody in the planet, this little baby that depends on you, and you're just going to run out because you have to have alcohol. So that hit me. I remember being very shaken up by that, and I still drank my 15 beers or whatever it was and went to bed. But so that was number 2. And then number 3, I posted about this on social media before. One of the key moments that took me into outpatient rehab, but my son was about 2 at the time, and my ex-wife was in the kitchen cleaning dishes or something, and I was in the living room with my son, and I got up, and he was laying on the floor watching cartoons or something, and it was after dinner, 7, 8 o'clock, and I tripped over him, and I hit, I smashed it. We had wood floor. I smashed it hard, but I hit his leg pretty hard or something, and he started crying, and my ex-wife started yelling at me, and it was a crappy scene. So she took him, went up, got him settled down, put him to bed. She went to bed. I slept downstairs, and anyway, right after that moment, I remember I went out on the deck when they went upstairs, and I lay there, and my mom, right at that time, she was only in her 50s at the time, was diagnosed with cancer, and I was in a really bad place, and I was drinking heavier than I ever had, and I went out on the deck, and I just remember I looked up at the stars, and I just started crying, and I really truly hated myself. And you know, I wanted to die. I really did. I didn't want to be alive anymore. And that scared me because I've never felt like that before, you know, really. And so, I don't know, I guess I just had a big moment that night. And I started to think about, you know, maybe I should think about getting some help or quitting, and that just kind of got the ball rolling for me. I think I ended up doing the outpatient rehab, called them just a couple of weeks after that, getting my bearings straight. So those are some moments that just kind of point out how strong the disease is, and I'm very grateful that you know, that I got sober when I did, and my son, you know, he doesn't remember those moments, and you know, maybe it impacted him a little bit in his development, but I don't think so. And you know, he's had his other challenges. Trust me, my life ain't perfect, and you know, with going through a divorce with his parents, and his mom went through some things, and you know, I've gone through things, and so now he's 25, he's gone through things, and you know, life is tough, and you know, you add alcoholism to the mix, and I've never heard anybody say, you know, my life's challenging, this is good, but because I drink a lot, it's a lot better. I mean, that's not a thing. So it's kind of like the t-shirt, you know, instant asshole just add alcohol. It's instant problems just add alcohol. I mean, it doesn't make anything better. It makes things worse. And so that's you know, that just adds to all of the stress and the problems. And anyway, thank you for listening. I just wanted to reflect on those things, and I want you to know, if you're a dad or a mom, but I'm saying this more because it's Father's Day. If you're a dad and you have a drinking problem and you're struggling with that, I don't care if your kid is a baby or if your kid is 40 years old, it's never too late to make that relationship better. Never too late. Because you know what? They might have resentments, they might have bitterness about some of the things that you've done, but you're their dad and they love you, and it's never too late. But it could be too late if you never get help and if you never get clean, because at some point, you know, an adult child of an alcoholic has to make a decision for their own happiness and sanity. And if you're always unpredictable and intoxicated and, you know, unkind and unreliable, and, you know, eventually they might give up on you. But don't give up on yourself. It's never too late. Make that choice to, you know, to get help and start that journey. So anyway, that's my Father's Day reflection. Thanks for listening. I'll probably put another video up later this week, and I hope you all had a great day.
I did. I did.
There's Olivia. Say hi, Olivia.
Hi.
And that's Jordan's making us breakfast. I'm doing it and just showing my friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. And
You have Chuck.
so Jordan's making.
You have Chuck. You have Chuck.
Yeah, you met Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Jordan's making eggs and bacon and potatoes. We got watermelon. We got some Eggo waffles. Anyway, it's going to be a good Father's Day breakfast.
Yeah, and we have strawberry Eggo waffles.
And Olivia made me a really nice card. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's going to be time to eat in a second. Happy Father's Day.